Hi guys, Chasing Sunshine by Veronica, back at ya. Today, logistics. I want to go over a couple things. I've been having problems with my live videos. I basically want to go landscape, right? Like this. As soon as I do that, it says rotate device, and I know that I'm totally crooked on your screen, right? So if I go like this, I'm probably right. So basically what I'm having to do is turn it this way. Stand by. Now I goofed it all up. Now it's gonna be crooked. Oh my goodness. 1 second, guys. I have to tighten this down. Okay, so a few logistics. Basically, I wanted to let you guys know what's going on as far as the orientation of my video. So if any one of you guys could please tell me how to correct that. I really want it to be landscape so that you don't have those two black bars on the side of your video because that looks lame. So if you could just let me know in the comments below, I would really appreciate that. Number two, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and follow, and hit that notification button. Don't forget about that. Today we're going to be upcycling Goodwill picks, and then I'm going to flip them in my little store here in Northern California. So with that said, I do want to let you guys know that I am currently working, so I might have an interruption here or there. But if you have comments, just put them below and I'll answer. And how is the light? Is it better with the light on or off? I think I'm gonna go with it on. Okay, so with all that said, I'm just gonna jump right into it. So last week I did a tutorial on upcycling these old crib sideboards, I guess you would call it. So this was just an old part of a crib, right? So here was one side, here was the other, and then you could just visualize how that was set up. They're fairly old. What I did is I added this applique here. It's just standard wood oak applique. I glued it on. I painted it, and then I shabbed it out by sanding with 220 sandpaper, and I added these little glass knobs. So this is the final product. This is kind of like a blue and white combination. I think it turned out super cute. And I also did a purple one because there was someone in our community that recently had a baby and she was doing her room in purples. You know who you are. So if you're interested in this two-tone purple, stop by Marble Mountain Gift Company and pick it up. Again, I did the same exact thing. This is actually a corner applique, wooden solid oak, and I did it first with this dark purple, and then I followed with this lighter purple behind, and I added the two glass knobs. So what you could use this for is in a child's room. It would be great to put their hats on, their belts on, their backpacks. It's very sturdy. You could use it in your kitchen for coffee cups or in your bathroom for necklaces. You could put anything you'd like to put on this. It's multi-purpose and it's $32. So if you'd like that, I do ship worldwide, as well as just stop on by the gift shop. A couple of the other things I had started last week are these little beautiful, I guess you would just call them, I don't know what it is. It's a wall hanging. It's got sunflowers and butterflies, and they were that hideous golden plastic throwaway, right? And I've saved it. I found it at the Syad rummage sale, and it has a sister, which is actually a bird feeding her little baby birds in a nest. It's very cute. These are $9.95. If you'd like these, just let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to ship them to you. Okay, so those are two of the things that I completed. We started in our last tutorial and I completed them offline. This is the other, okay, here you go. So basically what this is for is your bathroom, and you would hang your towel on it. And it was really, again, hideous in my opinion, just kind of really old, maybe 80s. You would use this in your restroom or whatever. And I just painted it first yellow, and then I did a nice green, soft green blue over the top, shabbed it up, and the set is $26.99. If you were interested in that, again, stop on by. There's two of them, as well as this is for your hand towel. I think they turned out pretty cute. So that project is complete and ready to go. Okay, I actually need to wax those, the towel racks. And so what I use is this Johnson's paste wax. It's just for furniture, and I put it on, let it sit for 24 hours, and then I buff it off with a clean towel. Alrighty, so those are the old and with the new. So, okay, I don't know if you guys have seen skeleton shades before, but basically if you could just imagine this completely covered with fabric, and it would be a standard shade, right? So what I do is I go to Goodwill, Restore, whatnot, and I look for shades with very interesting designs, curves, and corners. The one thing that you have to remember is to actually find a metal frame, right? So that it's sturdy. They do make plastic, and you don't want plastic, you want the metal ones, right? This is a super great shape, and I love it. This I got for $5 at the rummage sale last couple weekends ago, and it's solid metal of some sort. I'm going to paint this black, I believe, black, right? It's golden currently, and I'm also going to paint this shade black, and it's going to just go on like that. And I feel like with the shade, it kind of gives it like a Japanese or Oriental flair. Super great. With an Edison bulb to top it off, it will really seal the deal. Someone definitely will buy this. I think the final price is going to be probably $35. The Edison bulb is super expensive, so I'm going to plug it in and let you guys kind of get a sneak peek on what it'll look like. So I have my girlfriend here. She is monitoring comments. Were you able to pull that up? Are you watching live?
I'm watching live.
Sweet. Okay, so she's not seeing anything because you guys aren't commenting. So what that means is comment. Where are you from? What you doing? Who are ya? Okay, this here is turned on. Now, isn't that great? Who wouldn't want to buy that? I think it's fab. And it's amazing. Okay, I'm going to take the bulb out because I got another lamp to show you guys. And it's not going to have a skeleton shade. It's just going to be a dangling lamp. Do you guys have any questions on what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, the products I'm using? Just ask me questions. Again, if you just popped on, I do have one question for you. If you're currently watching on your television set, I'm well aware that this video is not 100% proper. And what I mean with that is you're currently seeing me upright because I tested it out and I know that that's correct. But you're also seeing two black lines or bars on the side of the video. I do not like that. It's unprofessional in my opinion as far as like I don't know what I'm doing. And that's what it's showing by having it that way. So what I'd like to do is have this orientation to landscape. However, when I do that, I'm currently taping on my phone and it's saying, please rotate phone. Well, that's not working for me. When I do that, it's not working for me. So that's the reason I haven't done any live since the last one that I did. I actually have done it 3 times, but I've deleted all those videos because they were lame. So if you know how to correct that, I believe it must be in YouTube settings. I've scoured YouTube looking for the answer and I cannot find it. So if you know, please tell me. Okay. So this is the other lamp that I bought, and I bought it for, I believe, $10 at the Goodwill in Oregon. And I'm going to sell it for, so I bought this for $10. This is about $5. So I've got $15 into it. I'm not going to paint it, so I won't have any time into it. And I'm probably going to sell this for $29 to $32. I think is what I'll do. And let's just see, I did test it at the Goodwill to ensure that it worked because it was $10 and I typically would not want to spend $10 on a lamp, but this was pretty unique and I think that I'll sell it no problem. So let's just plug it in with the Edison bulb and see how it looks. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Little bumblebee, it works. And I think that looks amazing. Like, I would totally buy this for $30. No problem, no questions asked. So that's what it's going to be. And so that was a really quick upcycle. It's done. It's ready to be put on the floor for sale. Okay. So I think I got all the logistics out of the way and I have updated us on the current or the existing projects that we started last week. So this is something that I got new. It's just a standard jewelry box. The top does not open. The side opens pretty uniquely. It opens and then it swings open, and the reason is because there's a ring holder right here, and you have your necklace holder here, and it's pretty clean. I just have to clean that out with a little bit of tape. I take the tape and I wrap it around my hand, and I kind of pat it, and then I'll get all the hair or whatever might be in there. But it's actually fairly clean. It's in great condition. I spent quite a bit on this too. I think I spent $8, which is kind of high for a little box like this, but I am going to put some time into it as well as paint and products. So with that said, this will probably easily be $29 as well, which I feel like is a great price. I don't think it's too out there. So what I'm going to do, typically when you paint something like this, a lot of folks aren't taping off. They're just using a razor blade and coming back after they're done and then scraping all the paint off. I mean, that's okay to do, but I'm going to tape it off this time, okay? And the reason I'm going to do that is because there's some detail in the glass here, and I feel like if I scrape it with a razor blade, it may damage it. So I'm not going to risk it. I'm just going to tape it. So here we go. Thanks for joining me, guys. I really appreciate your time. I'm really super excited. I have a little bit of good news to share with y'all. I currently, as I've told you guys in the past, if you have joined me before, that I make my own chalk paint. And the reason I do that is because it's cost effective for me, as well as I kind of take pride in being able to do that, make my own chalk paint. I feel like it's pretty exciting for me. However, I follow a lot of girls like Jamie Ray Vintage and Dot and Deb's Design Diary and Turquoise Iris. So I follow all these ladies that do similar things as I do, this stuff, the upcycling, and they all use the quality, professionally made chalk paint. And I haven't tried any of their products yet. But I filled out an application with Deb's Design Diary, the DIY paint, and I got accepted to be a retail store. So with that said, that's going to be a slight change that's going to happen with me. I'm going to start using real chalk paint here soon and selling it. So if you guys, and the whole purpose of me doing that, I feel, is I want to create a website attached to this YouTube channel and sell products. So basically that's where I'm at. In order to do that, I want to create things that you guys could create as well, follow along with me, if you will. And so that's the whole intention of being a retail store for Debbie. And I don't know her personally, but I do watch all her videos, and she's a super great person, it seems, and I love her personality and her energy and her story. So that's why I picked her. That's not to say that she'll be the only one that I sell her paint, but she's going to be my first. I'm super excited about it. If y'all know any other paint it's really good, I've reviewed it as far as just watching others that use the DIY paint, and they all love it. So that's another reason I went with it. But if you guys know of any other paint that's a good paint, let me know, and I'll give her a whirl and possibly fill out the retail application to sell that paint. Chalk paint is fairly expensive, but you only live once, and if you want to just do something that you enjoy doing, I say do it. And that's where I'm at in my life. I'm ready to do me. Okay, so I've got this almost taped. Thanks for being patient, guys. If you have any questions, throw them out there. Comments, statements, videos you'd like to see. I have thrown that question out there before, and I got a couple people saying that they would like to see some of my wood cutting tutorials, which I will do again, I promise. I just haven't done them lately. That's where I'm at. It's summertime. It's been super, super hot where I live. How hot would you say it is out there currently right now? About 90 degrees, and that's how it's been for the last week, I would say. And our weather here has been kind of crazy. It's been like off and on, like stormy, and then hot again. And so we don't really have much time to, what do you say, get used to the weather, I reckon. Okay, so I think that's pretty good. That's fairly good. Whatever little spots I missed, I'll just go ahead and scrape off with the razor blade, no big deal. So with this, I just got this new paint. It's an off-white. I got it at Ace Hardware. I added my calcium carbonate, and it's ready to go. I typically use about 5 tablespoons of the calcium carbonate. I mix it in a little bit of warm water. It ends up being about this much calcium carbonate versus this much paint, which is roughly about 10 ounces of paint. Okay? All right. I'm going to use my P-I-R-A, Pyra. How would you say that? P-I-R-A. How do you pronounce that? Pyra brush? Pyra? Pura. Let's go with that. So this is a Pura brush. It is an oval 1.25 inches. It's a really nice brush. It cleans really well. The bristles are all natural, and I really like this brush a lot. I like it because you can get into the details pretty easily, and overall it's a great brush. I ordered it on Amazon. I am going to paint straight over the hardware. Now I'm trying to get it so that you guys can actually see my project. Can you see it pretty okay? All right, here we go. Is that zoomed in pretty okay? Misty over there, can you see that all right?
Yeah, I just lost you though.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I don't know when to stop.
I think you're the only one following me. Yes! Come on, did you like it? Did you did you actually physically like the video? Like push like? So you are the only one that's watching me right now. Great! Thanks for the support, guys. However, if you're joining me, thanks for joining me. Did you get back on? Because someone's on now.
No.
Okay, welcome. All right, if you're just jumping on, basically what I'm doing is I'm upcycling this little jewelry box with the paint that I made in a Pyra brush. Hello, John Fisher. Thanks for commenting. I really, really appreciate you. If you're just jumping on, just to let you know, I'm well aware that I'm currently in the middle of your screen and there's 2 black blank spaces on the side of me. The reasons it's like that is because every time I go on portrait, or no, pardon me, landscape, it's saying please orientate your phone or move it. So I move it, and now I'm in the portrait status, and I don't know how to change that. So if you know how to change that, please comment below. I would really appreciate it. I've already shared all the goodies that we worked on last week, and currently starting a new one. This is a really great coverage. It's an Ace Hardware paint, and I added my calcium carbonate, and it's just going on. You can see that it's only going to take 2 coats of paint max in coverage. I am painting straight over the hardware. The reason I do that is in the end I feel like it gives a pretty organic appearance. And what I mean by organic is if you were to take the hardware off and paint them separately or not paint them at all, it looks really clean cut and factory made, I guess you'd say, in my opinion. And when I leave the hardware on and paint over it, I don't mind the little chips of paint that chip off. I actually really like that because I feel like it looks like it's been worn over time versus manufactured. And so I like that worn over time appearance, and that's what I'm going for, as well as if I put like a dark wax or a different color of paint, it then will settle within the creases and such, and I really, really, really dig that. If you guys go on to not January Vintage, but Dion Wood, she's known as the Turquoise Iris on YouTube. She is a great example of someone that does that often. She blends really, really well, and she's a great person to follow on YouTube if you're into this kind of stuff. So, yeah, that's just kind of what I wanted to do. I haven't been on a live in a week because I've been having technical difficulties with the whole orientation thing. It's really got me stumped. I don't know if it's a setting on my phone or a setting within YouTube. And so it's kind of just frustrated me, and I haven't had a live since then. So basically, help a sister out, let me know what I'm doing wrong, and I'll do more lives. How's that? Okay, so once you add the calcium carbonate into this paint, it actually does make it a chalk-based paint because calcium carbonate is nothing more than Tums, like the Tums that you would take when you have antacid. This is basically Tums. I get it in a great big huge bag for about $14, and that bag will last me probably about 3 months. And I paint every single day here at the gift shop. So the other good thing about chalk paint is it dries really, really fast. Hey, Desi, says we were in the truck. What truck? Hello, John Fisher. I appreciate you guys. I currently have my girlfriend here, and she's reading comments for me as they pop up. If there's any questions, let me know, or if people pop on and say hello from Canada or something like that, let me know so I could give a shout out. So, I guess that's all I was going to do today. There's the first coat. I'm going to let that dry. It is drying fast, but it's not completely dry. And if you continue to paint over a product that isn't dry, what it'll do, it'll just pull that paint up, and you're just kind of wasting your time. So whenever you're not using your paint, especially this chalk paint, because it is a chalky base and it dries fast, you want to put a lid on it. This is nothing more than a plastic cup with a lid, and it's good to go. I'm going to let my brush set there because it could set for a little while and be okay, because I could just scrub it out. The last thing that I guess I'll do is show you guys how I wax products. So I have made my own smeary wax as well as bought in the professional wax, chalk paint wax, and they're both okay. It depends on what you're doing. If you're actually doing something that like a table and you're gonna wax it, you want it to be a high quality wax because that surface is going to be used often, correct? Either a wax or a polyacrylic. Polyacrylic is better than a polyurethane because it doesn't yellow like polyurethane does. So if you just popped on here, this is nothing more than Johnson's Paste Wax, a rag. I dip it in. This stuff does have a smell to it and an odor to it. So you might want to be in a well-ventilated area when you're doing it. And then I'm just, doing nothing more than just wiping it on and kind of getting an even coat throughout the project here. And then I'll let it sit for 24 hours, a sheen. Get any lumps or bumps that I had overseen the day before. Okay, and once this is done, wax typically takes, any wax that you use is typically going to take up to 30 days to harden. And it will fully harden to like a hard candy shell type of substance over time. But again, it does take up to 30 days to do that. And you can seal over metal. This is the chalk-based paint that I painted over this metal wire here. You just slap that wax on it and it's good to go. One of the really good things that I appreciate about shabby chic, the style in which you paint something and then you sand it to rough it up and make it look aged again, look old again. It's okay, that's the look that you're going for. So if a little paint falls off here and there, it's no big deal, right? I'm definitely a abstract artist. I do not like perfect things, and so this type of art is perfect for me. All right, so I just kind of wanted to go over this with you guys, make sure I touched base with you. I hadn't in about a week or so, and that's because of, again, my technical difficulties. So thanks for popping on. Don't forget. Bye.